Welcome to Lessons of a Tantra Goddess. We are here with the amazing Caroline Muir. She's been a Tantra teacher, a healer, and most of all, a follower of her heart her entire life. So, our intention here is to bring you the lessons from Caroline's amazing 80 years of living life to the fullest and over 40 years not only learning, experiencing, and living a tantric life, but teaching and healing hundreds of thousands of people in the process. I loved the dedication to Charles, your former beloved and business partner, in this book. And you wrote, "My gratitude and love to Charles, beloved friend for all time, who was the central character of this memoir, until I discovered that the central character was really me."
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good moment.
Yeah.
I can remember that. I wrote half of this book sitting on an airplane flying between San Francisco and Maui.
Yeah.
And often there were three empty seats that I would grab, of course, and spread out with my computer. And, it was a big aha moment because I thought I was writing the book about the greatest love of my life and the greatest years of my life that were so unbelievably exciting and otherworldly and different than most marriages would ever be.
Yeah.
And I always would credit him because he was, quotes, my teacher. He was my yoga teacher when we began. Yeah. But it was a big aha moment when I realized my memoir is about me. Yes. It's not about him or them or anyone else.
Absolutely. I feel like a lot of us who are listening to this, who are reading this in your book, can relate to that concept of realizing that we are all our own main character in our story. Yeah. There is nobody else coming to save us. There is nobody else coming to do anything for us except enhance our experience. But the responsibility of our experience truly lies with us, within our own heart. And so the lesson that I truly get from your book is take responsibility for your own life. Take responsibility for your own experience. If your heart is calling you to something, go for it. Yeah. Do it. Life is too short to be living somebody else's life.
Mm-hmm. I know growing up, there was a negative around being conceited or being too into yourself, and so there was always a conflict. In loving myself, or I can't love myself. I have to love you and everybody else more than me. But it really became clear as the tantric path and teachings unfolded in my life that I am the one that is leading the way to my own awakening, and all of you come in to assist me in awakening to myself, just as we are here to assist you in awakening into all that you are and all that you will be, as a reminder from two women who have, I think, done a good job so far of finding out who we are. And
we're definitely trying.
Yeah, and that's why we're sitting here with the camera on and making this a priority of our life right now, to get this information out to you in a cohesive way.
I feel like the new generation is such a good example of doing it right and really having that freedom to express themselves, to be themselves. Whereas us growing up in different generations, in different upbringing, there was such a pressure from society, from family, being the good girl, follow the man, he knows what's best for the family. Right. Those kind of messagings that we've been getting. And I want to ask you, where did you get the courage? Because you grew up a few decades before even I came along, and you really were a pioneer in standing your ground, in not conforming to what everyone else told you. How did you find the courage to do that, to go for it?
Well, good question. How did I find the courage? It's a big ball of energy, the courage. I think I felt the courage in the growing up as a young American girl, that my freedom, my freedom was the gift of my country.
Yeah.
And I love my country.
Yeah.
So if I'm really free here, then I can't just conform like I see my mother tried to do and ended up in a mental hospital. I just saw conformity, and my grandmother tried to conform, but she ended up an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And I kind of started to realize that somebody along the chain of women here needs to change the channel.
Yeah.
And it was also the 1960s, and transformation was happening everywhere. And I was living in New York, and Kennedy was shot, and the Vietnam War was happening, and everybody was transforming into having the courage to speak out and to say no more. And I think I picked up on that too.
Absolutely.
If I don't have the courage to make my life everything I can even begin to dream of, I could see clearly that my dear and beloved first husband was not going to do it either. Right. I was following along in the shoes of his mother.
Right. He was not going to do it for you.
No.
Yeah. There's a powerful lesson here for all of us, I think, is the thing that you said, nobody will do it for you. You have to have the courage to do it for yourself. Yeah. If there's something that your heart is being called to, don't wait for somebody else to do it for you. Don't wait for somebody to give you the permission to do it for yourself. Do it because you want to. Do it because your heart is calling you.
Yes, and one more thing just popped in so clear in my mind. And everybody can look back in their ancestry and see what there might be to learn from your ancestors.
Absolutely.
And my ancestors crossed America in covered wagons and discovered the country. And that took a lot of courage for them and their parents to come over from Europe and discover a new country, a big, beautiful country. Yeah. And I think I picked up on some of that pioneering spirit.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to pioneer my own country of my own life.
That's beautiful. I heard a quote once, and it said, "I come as one, but I stand as 1,000." And it was from Oprah Winfrey, and she was saying when she would go into these rooms filled with white men, and she was the only black female. Whoa. And she would tell herself, "I come as one, but I stand as 1,000." And she was thinking of all the women behind her who did the work, who showed up, who were fearless. And I want to acknowledge you as one of those women for me. When I think of the 1,000 behind me, you are one of the women at the forefront of doing the work and being courageous. And for all of us, our journey looks different. My life looks nothing like Caroline's. My journey is completely different. However, the connection is that we both search for freedom. Yeah. We both search for authenticity. And that's what it's about. It's never about following somebody else's journey. It's about creating your own. It's about following your own heart, being your own pioneer in a way. Exactly. And also becoming that one of the 1,000 for the future generations, because there will be girls and boys and humans that will come after us that need somebody to stand there for them, to have paved the way.
Yeah. Well, you're doing that too. Ilona is doing that too. As a young woman who came over from Europe with your family, and at 14 landed in an English-speaking country and had to figure it out. Yeah. So pioneers are not just for the kids of the families like mine, but there are many of us, and many of you can look in your own families and see who was the most courageous one, and find that lineage and follow it.
Absolutely. So follow your own heart. Don't be scared of what's ahead. Be fearless and show up as one and stand as 1,000, because there are so many courageous souls who have come before you and paved the way for you to be free and follow your heart. If you'd like to learn more about communicating with your partner or learning a little bit deeper about yourself, we've put together a quick little free PDF guide for you. Simple phrases, big results. And you can get that in the description of the video below. Enjoy! If you would like to spend a little bit more time with me and Caroline and improve your relationship, get a little tips and tools and techniques on how to reconnect with your honey, with your beloved, and how to take your intimacy to the next level, we have an amazing special offer for you to join us for our Bliss Masterclass, where you will find the tools, techniques, and everything in between that you need to create the relationship that you want. So check the link below. We will link it all there, and we will see you in the next episode.
Yeah, we'll see you in the area of bliss.